That brings us to It's Boomin' presented by Xfinity. And we're going to focus on the Florida Panthers wish because they are certainly booming and there is a lot to unpack and celebrate, certainly if you're a Florida Panthers fan. So starting with the Panthers, they have 8 different Panthers with 8 points this postseason. No other playoff team has more than 4 such skaters.
The depth is there for Florida. You know, they lost some people on the supporting cast from last year's team that won the cup, but you know, overall the scoring depth on this team and the everybody pulls their weight kind of mentality of this team is certainly on display in this series and in this postseason. Booming for me, Sergei Bobrovsky is booming, baby. Only goalie with multiple shutouts this postseason. If they're going to repeat, they're going to need more games like he had in Game 4. I said after Game 3, Arda, my biggest concern for the Leafs was twofold. One, they're getting physically out manhandled in this series by the Panthers with those hits. But two, Bob looked like he was starting to come into form, and we saw that in Game 4. If he's heating up, it's going to be a really tough series for the Leafs to win.
Yep, Cup champion Bob in full effect. Boomin', Carter Verhaeghe. Why is Carter Verhaeghe booming? Well, because he's got 5 points in 4 games against the Leafs, goals in back-to-back games. He's also the first player in franchise history with 30 career playoff goals. He has, obviously with last season's team, a track record of championship success, and he's continuing those vibes against the Toronto Maple Leafs to tie the series.
Booming for me, Arda, the Rat Kings are back. And by that I mean the Florida Panthers don't just play playoff hockey. They poke, they prod, they bludgeon, they beat down teams in the postseason right up to the line of illegality and occasionally crossing that line. They just do it better than anyone else. You know why? Because they do all this stuff in the flow of play. Look at what Max Domi did at the end of Game 4. That's not in the flow of play. That's trying to injure Alexander Barkov at the end of the game with a cheap shot. Leafs fans hate that the Florida Panthers basically are a hit 'em high and hit 'em hard team. And I tend to agree that sometimes there are things that the referees let slip by that probably should be at least penalties in the game. But nobody in this league does it better than the Florida Panthers when it comes to physicality and using that physicality to get inside the heads of their opponents.
Listen, if we're going to have a segment called It's Boomin', then we're going to have to put these guys in the segment when they show up to the arena. It's Boomin', the Costco guys, AJ and Big Justice. They brought the boom, banging the drum and getting the fans to chant "Let's go Panthers," wearing their Florida Panthers jerseys. How about that?
I mean, the lack of any Rizzler here may cost them the cup eventually. But hey, listen, if you're bringing the boom, you got to have the Costco guys to bring the boom. That's for sure.
So this has been It's Booming presented by Xfinity.